So let's talk about the behavior because we're going to be practicing. So antecedent, behavior, consequence, A, B, C's of behavior. Let's look in right in the middle. Behavior is what we're measuring, observable, measurable, and can repeat itself. Antecedent is what happens immediately before that behavior. So if a child does this, what happened immediately before? So when I'm working with my teachers in my district, I let them know that what happened immediately before that child demonstrated that. Oh, they were doing this. Exactly, like 2 seconds before they did it. Yes, they were doing that. Now, consequence confuses a lot of teachers. They're saying, uh, well, consequence means something that I did for, that something, what did the child get? It's something bad or, a punisher. I'm like, no, consequence means what happened immediately after. What happened immediately after? What did you do? So if the child was calling out, what happened immediately before and what happened immediately afterwards? And I always want to stick a letter D in there, even though it doesn't match with the A, B, C, or, it works perfect. D means what happened to the behavior after you reacted. Did it stop? Did it continue? Or did it intensify? So let's say a child is calling out. Immediately before, you might have asked a question. So he called out or she called out. The consequence was I ignored them. Now, what happened to that behavior? Did it stop? Did it continue? Did it intensify? So I have them log this in, ready? In a log. I have them put it in a log. And then if the behavior continued, then they have to start logging again and do the A, B, C. And hopefully this time they're doing something different as far as the consequence. And what happened? If it stopped, the log stops. And then so on and so on. So let's practice. So this young man is throwing a javelin. So throwing, is it observable? Can I see him throwing it? Yeah. How do I measure it? Well, distance. I can measure distance. I can measure the amount of time it took to get the javelin from one place to another. I can also measure how close to the target he was. I can measure the time between javelin throws. All these things I can measure. Observable? Yeah. Measurable? Yes. Repeatable? Yes. So it's a behavior. Sarcasm. Sarcasm. Is it observable? I don't know. How do you measure? How do you observe sarcasm? Because that could be just frustrated. That could be bored. That could be a lot of things. Notice that it's not clear cut. How do we measure it? By their arms being crossed? No, because then I'm measuring their arms crossing, not the behavior. Can I measure how long they were sarcastic? You see the ambiguity? So basically, it's not a behavior.